As Ife's voice intertwined with the serpent's melody, the village was plunged into a battle of light and shadow, with Ade's drumbeats echoing like a heartbeat of hope. Amidst the chaos, a chilling prophecy from Durojaiye hinted at a darkness far greater than they had ever imagined. Ife's song touched hearts, wavering the resolve of enemies and uniting the villages in a surge of collective strength. But as the dust settled, the ominous promise of Durojaiye's return cast a foreboding shadow over their hard-won peace. In the flickering firelight, Ife vowed to protect the melody of destiny, knowing the greatest challenges were still to come. In the heart of a village called Adero, nestled between lush green hills and a winding river, lived a girl named Ife. Ife was known for her curious nature and a voice that could charm even the fiercest of animals. Her songs brought joy to everyone in Adero, but her most enchanting melody was yet to be discovered. One sunny morning, as Ife wandered near the river, she heard a strange, melodious tune. It seemed to come from the depths of the forest, a place where the villagers dared not venture. Intrigued, she followed the sound, her bare feet making soft imprints in the rich, dark soil. As she moved deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to whisper secrets, and the air grew cooler. She reached a clearing where an ancient baobab tree stood. At its base, coiled around the roots, was a serpent with scales that shimmered like emeralds. Its eyes glowed a haunting yellow, and it sang a song that made Ife's heart ache with longing and curiosity. "Who are you?" Ife asked, her voice trembling. "I am Abeni, the serpent of melodies," the serpent replied. "I have been waiting for someone with a pure heart and a voice like yours. Sing with me, and you will unlock the secrets of the forest." Ife hesitated but couldn't resist the pull of the serpent's song. She began to sing, her voice blending with the serpent's in perfect harmony. As they sang, the forest around them seemed to come alive. Flowers bloomed, animals gathered, and the air was filled with an otherworldly magic. Suddenly, the song ended, and Abeni spoke again. "You have a gift, Ife. But with great power comes great responsibility. The melody we sang can change destinies. Use it wisely, for it can bring both great joy and great sorrow." Ife nodded, feeling a mixture of excitement and fear. She thanked the serpent and promised to return. As she made her way back to the village, she couldn't shake the feeling that her life was about to change forever. Back in Adero, Ife's friends and family noticed a new spark in her eyes. She told them about her encounter with Abeni, but many were skeptical. Only her closest friend, Ade, believed her completely. Ade was a talented drummer, and together they decided to explore the power of the serpent's melody. They started with small experiments, singing to the crops to make them grow faster and healthier. The villagers were amazed at the results, and soon Ife and Ade became known as the magical duo. However, not everyone was pleased. Olamide, a powerful elder in the village, saw their newfound fame as a threat to his authority. One night, Olamide confronted Ife and Ade, demanding they reveal their secret. When they refused, he warned them of dire consequences. "You are playing with forces you do not understand," he said. "Mark my words, this will end in disaster." Despite Olamide's warnings, Ife and Ade continued to use the gifts for good. They healed the sick, brought rain to dry lands, and even helped mend broken relationships. The village flourished, and their bond grew stronger. But the serpent's warning lingered in Ife's mind. One evening, she returned to the forest to seek Abeni's advice. The serpent appeared, its eyes glowing with wisdom and sorrow. "You have done well, Ife," Abeni said. "But beware, for there are those who will seek to use your gift for their own gain. You must protect the melody and its power." As Ife left the forest, she felt a chill run down her spine. She knew that the real challenges were yet to come, and she vowed to guard the serpent's melody with all her strength. The next day, a stranger arrived in Adero. He was tall and imposing, with eyes that seemed to pierce through your soul. He introduced himself as Durojaiye, a wanderer seeking refuge. The villagers welcomed him with open arms, but Ife sensed something dark about him. Durojaiye quickly gained the villagers' trust with his charm and stories of distant lands. But Ife and Ade remained wary. One night, as they practiced the serpent's melody by the river, Durojaiye appeared out of the shadows. "I know of your secret," he said, his voice smooth and dangerous. "And I want to be a part of it." Ife's heart pounded as she tried to stay calm. "This is not a power to be taken lightly," she said. Durojaiye laughed, a cold, menacing sound. "Power is never taken lightly, little girl. It is taken by those who are strong enough to wield it." With that, he lunged at Ife, trying to force her to sing the melody. Ade sprang to her defense, his drum echoing through the night. The two friends fought bravely, but Durojaiye's strength was overwhelming. In a desperate move, Ife sang a high, piercing note that reverberated through the forest. Abeni appeared, coiling protectively around her. The serpent's eyes blazed with fury as it hissed at Durojaiye. "This power is not yours to take," Abeni said. "Leave now, or face the consequences." Durojaiye snarled but retreated into the shadows, his eyes burning with hatred. Ife and Ade were left trembling but unharmed. Abeni's warning echoed in Ife's mind, more urgent than ever. As the days passed, Ife and Ade strengthened their resolve. They knew Durojaiye would return, and they prepared for the battle ahead. But the serpent's melody was a double-edged sword, and the lines between friend and foe began to blur. Ife's dreams were filled with visions of the serpent and the forest, of battles yet to be fought and secrets yet to be uncovered. She knew that the melody of destiny was far from finished, and her journey was only just beginning. In the weeks that followed, Ife and Ade worked tirelessly to fortify their skills and the village's defenses. They shared their concerns with the elders, who, despite their initial skepticism, began to understand the gravity of the situation. Even Olamide, who had warned them earlier, offered his wisdom and guidance. One evening, Ife sat by the river, the cool water lapping at her feet, reflecting on the events that had transpired. The weight of the serpent's melody hung heavily on her shoulders. She could feel its power and the responsibility it bore. Her thoughts were interrupted by Ade, who sat beside her, his drum resting on his knees. "Do you ever wonder if we did the right thing?" Ife asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Ade sighed, his eyes fixed on the horizon. "Every day. But we can't turn back now. We have to face whatever comes, together." As the sun dipped below the hills, casting long shadows across the village, an eerie silence settled over Adero. The villagers felt an unspoken tension in the air, as if something was about to happen. And happen it did. In the dead of night, a chilling cry echoed through the village. Ife and Ade sprang from their beds and rushed to the source of the commotion. There, in the village square, stood Durojaiye, flanked by a group of menacing figures. His eyes gleamed with malevolent intent. "I warned you," Durojaiye hissed. "You cannot keep such power to yourselves." Olamide stepped forward, his staff glowing faintly with protective magic. "Leave this village at once, Durojaiye. You are not welcome here." Durojaiye laughed, a sinister sound that sent shivers down everyone's spines. "You think you can stop me, old man? The melody of destiny belongs to me now." Without warning, a fierce battle erupted. Ife's voice rang out, strong and clear, weaving the serpent's melody into a protective shield around the villagers. Ade's drumbeats thundered like a heartbeat, bolstering their courage. But Durojaiye's dark power was formidable, and his followers fought with a terrifying ferocity. As the clash raged on, Ife felt a surge of strength and clarity. She realized that the serpent's melody was not just a weapon or a tool. It was a force of balance, capable of both creation and destruction. She knew she had to tap into its true essence to defeat Durojaiye. With a deep breath, Ife closed her eyes and sang a new verse, one that spoke of harmony and unity, of light overcoming darkness. Her voice soared above the chaos, reaching into the hearts of the villagers and her enemies alike. Slowly, the tide began to turn. Durojaiye's followers faltered, their resolve wavering as the melody touched their souls. Ife and Ade and the other elders seized the moment, channeling their combined magic to drive the intruders back. Durojaiye, realizing he was losing control, let out a furious roar. "This isn't over, Ife," he spat. "I will return, and when I do, you will wish you had never discovered the serpent's melody." With that, he and his remaining followers vanished into the night, leaving the village in an uneasy calm. The battle had been won, but the war was far from over. Ife and Ade knew they had only seen a glimpse of the darkness that threatened their world. In the days that followed, the village began to heal. Ife and Ade continued to train, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. They knew they would need every ounce of their strength and unity for the battles ahead. One evening, as the sun set and the villagers gathered around a crackling fire, Ife stood up to speak. Her voice, though weary, was filled with determination. "We have faced great trials," she said. "But we are stronger together. The serpent's melody is a gift, and we must protect it with all our hearts. For it is not just our destiny, but the destiny of all who come after us." The villagers cheered, their spirits lifted by Ife's words. They knew the road ahead would be difficult, but they also knew they were not alone. And as the stars twinkled above, casting their ancient light on the village of Adero, the melody of destiny continued to weave its magic, guiding them toward a future filled with hope and possibility.
Thanks for watching. For more content, subscribe to our channel, like, share, and comment on this video.